Problem 2. The sequence of integers a0, a1 and so on has the property that for each I at least 2, ai is either 2ai minus 1 minus ai minus 2 or 2ai minus 2 minus ai minus 1. Given that a2023 and a2024 are consecutive integers, prove that a0 and a1 are consecutive integers.
We're interested in a sequence of integers. So the first two are a0 and a1, and then they carry on in the usual way. We're actually interested not in all the terms, but in the terms up to term 2024. And we're given the information that the last two terms in what I've written are consecutive, so their difference is plus or minus 1. This sequence obeys a special rule, and that's this. You suppose that x and y are consecutive terms, then the next term is one of two things. It's either 2x minus y or it's 2y minus x, and you don't know which. So when you start with two terms, there are all sorts of sequences that you might have written down. What we're required to do is to show that no matter which one of those sequences you're looking at, if these two terms are consecutive, they differ by 1, then the first two terms are consecutive, and they differ by 1. So looking at the differences is going to be a good way of addressing this problem. In fact, there are lots of ways to address this problem. You can worry about whether the terms are even or odd. You can worry about trying to make this rule go backwards. So if you know two consecutive terms, what do you know about the predecessor, and work your way down. All sorts of methods. But what I'm going to show you is very fast. We look at the difference of any pair of consecutive terms. So in this case here, the difference is x minus y. The difference of the next pair, well, you don't know. It's either 2x minus y, and that's 2 times x minus y, or it might be 2y minus x, take away y, so it might be y minus x. Now something nice has happened. In both cases, the first number divides the second. So let's introduce some notation. I'll let d1 be a1 minus a0. I'll let d2 be a2 minus a1, and so on, up to the last pair of terms that I'm interested in, which will be d2024, which is a 2024, take away a 2023. Now what we know is that the first difference divides the second difference. This long vertical line here is pronounced divides. We also know that the second difference divides the third difference, and so on, up to the 2023 difference divides the 2024 difference. Now, if d1 divides d2 and d2 divides d3, it follows that d1 divides d3. And that carries on. d1 also divides d4 and d5, and so on, up to d1 dividing to d2024. That tells us that d1 divides d2024, which we happen to know is either 1 or minus 1. Now, the only integers which divide plus or minus 1 are plus or minus 1. So d1 is plus or minus 1. That means that the difference of these two terms is plus or minus 1. So they have to be consecutive integers. And we're finished.